just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to.
She's gone, vanished into thin air. No warning. No tearful goodbye. Not even a dramatic walk off at the views table. Whoopi Goldberg? She dipped straight out of the country and not for a vacation. She allegedly fled right as a jaw-dropping $800 million defamation lawsuit from conservative firestarter Karoline Leavitt. It blew up like wildfire, but this isn't just your average legal mess. This is media mayhem on steroids. Word is ABC is straight up panicking. Producers are frankly scrubbing files, sponsors pulling the plug, PR teams practically crying into their lattes in panic, calling each other from glass-walled meeting rooms.
You don't have anything to say. You blab. You just go on and 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 on and
The
on.
network is in full meltdown mode. And Whoopi? She's off the grid. Sources close to the chaos claim she hopped on an international flight just days after the court gave the green light for an expedited discovery, fast-tracking leave. It's lawsuit like it's on rocket fuel. Now, people are split. Some insiders whisper she's just taking a break. But others, they're not buying it. The whispers are turning into full-blown chatter. She ran. So what's really going on here? What triggered this disappearing act? And how? Did a single guest segment spiral into an all-out legal inferno? Time to rewind. It started like any other episode. Another political name stepping into the lion's den they call The View. But this wasn't just any guest. Karoline Leavitt walked in swinging, young, sharp-tongued, and proudly conservative. She's the type that doesn't get much love in that studio. The atmosphere? Icy. The tension? Thick. She wasn't just a guest. She was a ticking time bomb in a room full of gas. Leaks. She walked in like she owned the place. Hair flawless. Posture straight as a ruler. Eyes locked in like cold steel. Karoline knew exactly where she was, and she didn't flinch for a second. Calm. Smile, steady breath.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
She took her seat and braced for the chaos. From the first second, you could feel it in the air. This wasn't going to be a convo. It was a setup. Joy Behar struck first, and she didn't even try to hide it. Let out this smug little laugh, the kind that drips with fake sweetness. Then boom, she threw shade right at Karoline's background, brushing off her political experience like it was some teenage internship. Political baby. Steps, she called it, practically daring Karoline to defend herself. Then came Sunny Hostin, arms crossed like a gatekeeper, eyes colder than January. She went straight for the jugular. Dropped the phrase white privilege like a grenade mid-table. The vibe was clear. Sunny was saying you didn't earn your spot. It was given to you. She poked at Karoline's credibility, mocked her views, and painted her like some trainee fresh out of a Fox News boot camp. And just when you thought it couldn't get messy, Whoopi leaned in. She hit her signature. Eye roll, threw out a smirk, and dropped the bombshell, the line, the one that blew up every timeline, lit up every group chat, and got lawyers foaming at the mouth. You're not here because you earned it. You're just a token of pity politics. Boom. Laughter, chuckles, smirks across the table like it was some roast session. The camera zoomed in, hungry for drama, and waiting for Karoline to snap, to clap, back, to give them that viral moment. But she didn't flinch. No tears, no attitude, no comeback, just a quiet smile. The kind you wear when you've been doubted in every room and survived all of them.
Think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
No screaming matches, no rage posts, no dramatic my side of the story videos. Karoline didn't need any of that noise. She just made one call to her legal team. Calm, calculated, and that was all it took. Meanwhile, the View crew, totally blindsided. They didn't even see the legal freight train coming until it was inches from their faces. And then it hit, like lightning. The internet blew up. Overnight, headlines everywhere. Karoline Leavitt sued The View for $800 million in landmark defamation case. Social media turned into a full-blown courtroom. TikTok, creators went crazy, breaking down clips, frame by frame. Legal commentators called it a major stand against big media. Bullying. But this wasn't just another petty defamation drama. This was a legal nuke, and it was aimed with precision. The filing, a 100-page monster. It named Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hassan, and even ABC itself, accusing them of straight-up character assassination, not just casual shade. This was about orchestrated on-air humiliation, planned slander, and politically motivated smears, dressed up as hot takes. Karoline's legal team didn't just tell a story. They brought receipts, and lots of them. They broke down the episode into microscopic detail. Every eye roll was documented, every sarcastic laugh, time-stamped. Even the teleprompter cues were underlined like smoking guns. But the real heat didn't come from what was broadcast. It came from what went down off camera. Behind-the-scenes notes, internal emails, sneaky recordings. That's where the fire really was. One email laid it out clear as day. Starts off with Joy. Joke about her age. Let Sunny pivot to race. Whoopi goes in for the ideological takedown. That's not casual conversation. That's a hit list. And now it's all evidence. Another Slack ping. Another red alert. Karoline's trending. It hit hard. No mercy. No delay. What the world was watching unfold wasn't just backlash. It was the exact moment that had been scripted behind the scenes, now unraveling in real time.
This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide. For my child, what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, and they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading? Because God was really clear. Very clear.
Legal analysts across major networks didn't sugarcoat it. This wasn't a heated conversation. Gone wrong. It was a full-on ambush. A setup, and now exposed with receipts. Then, the bombshell statement dropped live. Right in the media's face. Karoline's attorney stepped up to the mic and made it plain. This isn't about silencing opinion. It's about defending dignity. No, guests should be invited just to be dismantled on cue. With that, the courtroom and media worlds collided. And just like that, ABC hit lockdown mode. Their PR team scrambled. Emails went out in caps. And every executive went into damage control, overdrive. But Karoline, she was just getting started. At first, Whoopi brushed it off like she always does, laughed about it on air, called it political theater. She acted like the lawsuit was nothing, just lint on her blazer. But while she kept the cool act going on, camera, the cracks were already showing. Behind closed doors, ABC insider started whispering she was showing up late, snapping at producers, ignoring show notes, skipping rehearsals like she didn't care anymore. One staff writer didn't hold back, saying you could cut. the tension with a knife. Whoopi was spiraling but trying to play it cool. And then it dropped the summons. No, warning, no soft tap, a full-blown court. Order delivered right to ABC's headquarters. Her team tried to downplay it, saying it was just procedure, but let's be real, she never saw this coming. The judge didn't hesitate. Karoline's request to fast-track the case? Granted, public interest was through the roof, and the reputational damage? Too real to ignore. That courtroom decision changed everything. Suddenly, Whoopi's trademark, smirk, gone. Panic started creeping in. Backstage, a producer allegedly caught her whispering under her breath. I didn't think she'd actually do it. But Karoline wasn't bluffing. She was locked in. And Whoopi? She was out of time. Karoline's legal team hit the gas. This lawsuit wasn't just about one shady comment. It turned into a full-blown siege of ABC's internal empire. No filters, no summaries. Karoline's team demanded everything. Raw footage, internal emails, unedited, transcripts, behind-the-scenes production, notes, and what they uncovered. Devastating. One leaked production email had the subject line, Karoline Polk, strategy. The content? Way worse. It read, have Sonny hit with a race comment. Joy can jab her credentials. Whoopi raps. With Trump, make it look organic.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table.
Another Slack thread, casually, suggested, let Whoopi take it home with sarcasm, trigger her, roll cameras, nonstop. It wasn't discussion, it was coordination. Then came the final blow. Karoline's lawyers brought unreleased footage into the courtroom. One moment, silenced the entire room. Whoopi, unaware, her mic was still hot, leaned in and muttered. She scripted. Toss her A. Trump question. Watch her lock up. The courtroom froze. A CNN legal analyst said it best. This is an accidental bias. This is calculated humiliation. The public turned fast. Even the skeptics started switching sides. What started as media theatrics was now something way bigger. Karoline had receipts, and people were finally paying attention. Neutral, political figures started calling for an internal investigation into ABC. The network was under fire, and Whoopi, once the bold, unshakable face of The View, had suddenly disappeared. No goodbye speech. No coffee mug cheers. No dramatic exit. Just gone. ABC released a weak, vague statement claiming she was on a wellness break, but no one was buying it, especially not when her scheduled deposition was just 2 days away. Insiders whispered a completely different version of the story. A junior producer remembered Whoopi pacing backstage, muttering, I need air. By the next morning, she was nowhere to be found. At first, tabloids floated a soft landing, something about a cozy wellness retreat in upstate New York. But then came the leaks. Reports surfaced about a private jet leaving JFK, headed straight for Florence, Italy. The jet, chartered by a mysterious shell company linked to a known celebrity fixer. Suddenly, this wasn't about wellness. It was looking a whole lot like a planned escape. Some claim she's hiding out in a luxury villa along the Mediterranean coast. Others say she's on a private island in the Caribbean. But the most damning detail, she left right after the court ordered all hosts to testify under oath, and she never showed up. Legal analysts tore into the situation. You don't disappear before a deposition unless you got something To hide, Fox News called it exactly how. They saw it. She ran. Meanwhile, Karoline's team didn't say a word, just that quiet. Courtroom smirk from Karoline, like she knew exactly how this was going to play out. Within an hour, whereas Whoopi was trending all over the internet. TikTok lit up with edits, Whoopi mocking. Karoline courtroom sketches, then jet engines in the sky. YouTubers titled it The View's Vanishing Act. Memes nailed it. Karoline holding court papers, Whoopi clutching a passport. The captions were, Savage. Karoline went to court. Whoopi went to Italy. And this wasn't just conservative chatter. Even progressive voices started asking the same question. Was this really wellness or a straight-up escape plan? ABC tried to stop the bleeding. They pushed out a corporate sounding statement that read more like a glitchy chatbot than a real response. We support our talent's personal health journeys, but the public wasn't buying it. Ratings tanked. Advertisers pulled back. And The View, once daytime TV's power player, had become a full-blown meme.